Welcome everyone, I'm Glenda from TopNotch Legal. I'm the Senior Legal Advisor at TopNotch Legal, and today we're going to be continuing our discussion about embedded networks. If you hadn't seen the first video, then I'll just give you a little explanation what an embedded network is. Essentially, it's a vehicle that's used in a multi-tenanted environment, such as a shopping centre or industrial park or a high-rise apartment building. So it's a vehicle that can be used to purchase utilities in bulk and on-sell them to the tenants. Mostly it's electricity, and these embedded networks are working very successfully in the eastern states and also South Australia. Last week I spoke with Julie McLean from Ace Body Corporate. Julie is a body corporate manager who has had extensive experience with body corporates and embedded networks. And today I'm going to be continuing the discussion with Andrew McMeekim from Energy On. Energy On is an embedded network operator. So Andrew, I'd like to welcome you along today.
Thanks Glenda, pleasure to be here.
Great to have you. And I'd like you to start perhaps by telling us a little about your role as an embedded network operator.
Okay, so for customers in an embedded network, our role as an embedded network operator is very much the same as what they would experience with a traditional retailer. So we read your meters, we provide invoices for your electricity usage, we collect your monies, reminder notices, customer service, all of those standard things that you'd expect from an electricity retailer. For the owners corporation, we operate the network on their behalf. So we make sure that all the financials are up to date, the reporting's in place, and any issues with the network we deal with so that the owners corporation really doesn't have to worry about anything.
Tell us about the types of developments that these are used in.
Okay, so an embedded network will work, as you mentioned earlier, across a range of multi-tenant environments. So they can be retirement villages, industrial estates, shopping centres, but the most common place to find it these days is in multi-tenant residential apartments.
Right.
So it's increasingly common operation been around in Victoria for a long time, but is getting more popular in the other states as well.
Okay. Are there some of these environments where it wouldn't work or wouldn't be successful?
Yes, indeed. So I think you have to look at it from, it's about the entire volume of usage in the apartment or in the building. So we buy at one point the entire supply for the building, and therefore we get a bulk discount on that, and then we on-sell to the customers. So really, in a residential environment, and it varies from state to state and those sorts of things, but essentially you're probably looking at a minimum of about 60 apartments to really generate a return, but it will work in smaller environments for industrial or commercial or shopping centres and those sorts of things.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Do these networks mean a lot of work for the owners corporation or the manager, for example?
No, in fact they shouldn't, and that's the whole point about having an embedded network operator to do it. It means that we take responsibility for the entire service, and as a fee-for-service operator, that's our job. So we look after all the customer service, we look after all of meter reading and billing, and all of the financial management. So we really aim not to put any additional burden on the owners corporation or their manager at all, because really it's not their business, so we help to make sure that they don't have to worry about that.
So you make it sound like it's quite an easy thing to do.
Well, look, it is a straightforward exercise really, and it can be done, interestingly enough, it's traditionally done in new developments. The developer will arrange to put it in place, but it's quite possible to convert an existing building. It's a little bit more, administratively complex and a bit of work with the regulators and things, but we can look at an apartment, we can evaluate the potential of that apartment and go back to the owners corporation manager or the committees and say, there's a real opportunity here for you to make a good surplus income to assist you with your fees. And more often than not, Energy On can arrange for that conversion without having the owners corporation put any money up front. So we can work out all of that financially, so it can be a free cost of entry.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Well, it's good. And the other side we work on is often, as I think Julie mentioned, many owners corporations or body corporates don't benefit from their networks. That's because when a developer sets it up, they can make arrangements with either the operator or themselves to benefit from that. So if you are in one of those, where you're not benefiting as the owner's corporation, you really should be. So we recommend those sorts of people have a lawyer look at your agreement or see at least what negotiation you can do. And a lot of the work we're doing right now is changing over operators where owners corporations haven't been benefiting, and they come to Energy On so that they can go into an environment where they can.
Wow, thank you very much, Andrew. So I think you can see from this discussion with Andrew today that having an embedded network, obviously there's lots of advantages, particularly financial advantages, but in addition to that, it doesn't have to be a difficult exercise to set one up, nor does it have to be expensive. If you're in a situation where you don't have an embedded network, it's probably worth making some inquiries as to whether you could benefit from one. So that's all we really have to talk about today, but next week I'm going to be talking with James Pearce from E&M Solutions, who are an embedded network manager, which is the new role set up by the government, and so we're going to be finding out from James what this entails. And I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.